What's up guys, Matt back again with another video, and this is the Ichiban Kuji for Dragon Ball Z History of the Film, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the entire set. Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey. Kicking the Kuji off is my favorite Gohan figure in my collection, Super Saiyan Gohan from the Dragon Ball Z movie, Broly Second Coming. While the second Broly film isn't my favorite, I do think the animation, character designs, and big moments stand out well. Gohan remains a big focus towards the climax of the movie as he is the strongest warrior on Earth during this time. His rematch with Broly is incredible, and Bandai selecting him as the frontrunner of this set really felt special to me. Not only is it my favorite look and era of Gohan, but the amazing pose of having him doing a Kamehameha presents so many possibilities to display him on his own or with other figures like the Goten and Broly from this set. The way his face is designed is immaculate as he has so much emotion that reflects his struggle to push Broly's attack back. I love how they made his teeth grit while his hair blows back in the wind. I'm also a big fan of the battle damage, not only shown in his torn gi, but the bloody cuts and bruises on his body. I do wish they added some more prominent shading to his hair, but the figure more than makes up for it with plenty of it on his skin and gi. Gohan may come in at a measured size of just over 8 inches, but keep in mind that the figure is crouching very low for his attack. He scales well with other figures in a collection and has plenty of volume to him too. I'm hoping Bandai makes more Gohan figures in this gi from the Buu arc, but I'm more than content having this Gohan as my favorite of his kind in my collection. Let's move on to a figure I'm surprised doesn't already have more Masterlies releases, Goten. Goten is more of an accompanying piece to the aforementioned Gohan figure in this set, which does make me wish that he was included as a bonus along with Gohan. These figures released before Masterlies Plus was really a thing, but there is evidence of double pack figures in 2021 with Goku and Vegeta from Omnibus Super, and even in the same year in 2022 with Mystical Adventure having Shu and Mai together. Because Goten is his own prize, it makes it a bit harder to justify the regular Ichiban Kuji prices we typically see. With all that being said, I do want to recognize that he is our first and only Masterlies for the character, so it does feel somewhat justified to include him here in whatever form. Goten is essentially the co-star of this Broly film alongside Trunks, who still doesn't have a Masterlies I might add, and is front and center for the big moment with the family Kamehameha. Goten has many qualities similar to Gohan outside of a few areas I felt could have been done a bit better. Goten's face is great due to his ferocity, the hair blowing back from the attack, and his gritting teeth, much like Gohan. I do feel as though his eyes are either too small or put too low on the figure, making him have a teeny bit of a squished face. It's not a big deal, but does make me feel as though he didn't get as much attention as Gohan when being made. Other than that, the figure is awesome. Goten has plenty of battle damage detailed onto the sculpt along with an amazing hair sculpt. He has lots of shading and a very bright, deep yellow for his hair. He's a bit on the smaller size, but still a perfect height to scale with others, especially Gohan and Broly in this set. I have no regrets of owning this Goten figure and hope that Bandai remembers that him and Trunks still need more representation. What's better than one cooler in a Kuji set? Well, obviously two. This Kuji stays true to what its previous series set established with the double Broly in Prize C by including two versions of Cooler, his regular and metal forms. Cooler is one of the biggest non-canon film characters behind Broly. He made his Masterly's debut in the previous film theme set, but I don't think anyone complained over his appearance again in this set. Both coolers are highly detailed, and I'll admit that I do prefer the regular cooler over his metal counterpart. The use of shading throughout Cooler is far more noticeable than that of the metal form. You can see wonderful uses of dark and bright purples to accentuate the figure's colors. I even love the addition of the glossy areas to his headpiece to allow him to stand out even further. His face is probably the better looking of the two as well, and more befitting of his condescending attitude. Metal Cooler shouldn't be overlooked though, as his entire body is glossy to replicate his look from the movie. It's perfect in all aspects, but I just prefer the design of the original Cooler a lot more. They also added some details between both figures to make them slightly different, like their joints and overall builds. I also think that the Metal Cooler is slightly shorter for some reason, but maybe that could be my eyes playing tricks on me. Let me know in the comments. Either way, both figures along with most of this set are must-haves, not only due to their amazing details, but also the fact that we may never see another Cooler Kuji again, or at least in the near future. Another Evil Saiyan added to our growing collection, and it was none other than Turles from the Tree of Might. Thinking about it as I'm recording this, it's funny that Turles got a Masterly's figure before Raditz did. I'm not sure of Turles' popularity or how his movie was received, but I had a good time with it and their depiction of our original Evil Goku. Turles' design lends itself to one of my favorite types from Bandai. They usually add a matte finish to the armor for these figures, and something about Turles must have really excited them because he got the expert treatment all over. His skin and armor have a matte finish with dramatic shading that mixes so well. His translucent scouter lets us not only see the craft and care on the figure, but it refrains from hiding his wonderful face that is oozing Toriyama charm and design. The round eyes and softer features make him really feel like he came from the movie or early Z, and it hits right in the nostalgia bone for me. Turles has a wicked hair sculpt to make him quite a bit different than Goku, along with some awesome details around his armor and furry tail wrapped around his waist. In the past, I felt as though the last one Prize was my favorite of this set, but as time has gone on, I think I have to admit that Turles has stolen my heart and come out on top as the best figure within this Ichiban Kuji. Whether or not you enjoy non-canon characters, movie characters, or villains, Turles is a must-have by using his simplicity to his advantage. One of the biggest inclusions in this set, due to being one of the biggest movie villains in Dragon Ball Z, has to be Super Janemba. Even before we had the announcement of the very first Back to the Film Kuji, fans have been begging Bandai to create a mass release of Janemba. Janemba's popularity speaks for itself due to his unique and menacing design, awesome powers from the movie like dimension shifting, unleashing hell on Earth, and using a sick key sword technique, and of course being the only villain for the longest time to fight Gogeta within the anime. It really was only a matter of time before we saw him appear in Ichiban Kuji. Now, while Janemba was a highly requested figure in the series, he does have a couple of areas that could have been done a bit better in my opinion. His face is good, but leaves a bit to be desired as it lacks a little bit of detail that would have made it stand out a bit more. I do think the sculpt has been done very well, but I wish they also added an accessory like his sword to reference his iconic weapon from the film. Turles has his Fruit of the Tree of Might in his hand, so why can't Janemba have something similar? The bright colors of the figure are done really well, and there is notable shading all over, so no complaints there. I will say the biggest issue with this figure is his height. While being a respectable height at 11 inches, it does make him look awkward next to the Super Saiyan Gogeta from the previous years Back to the Film Kuji, because that figure is taller than this one. Janemba could have used 1.5 to 2 inches to his height, as the character is canonically taller than most, especially Gogeta. It's not the worst Masterlies, I'm looking at you King Cold, but it is disappointing when we've been expecting to see him for so long. I still think he's a great figure, but wouldn't mind Bandai taking a stab at him again one day and making him either a Masterlies Extra or at least 12 inches tall to make him taller than Gogeta. Finally, the God of Destruction from Universe 7 enters the Masterlies lineup. Beerus is a fan favorite character even since his introduction in Battle of Gods. He has a very unique look and his personality is incredibly charming. He's also incredibly cool with his Hakai powers and the way he toys with Goku even after he becomes a Super Saiyan God. However, even though Beerus is amazing and has been requested within Masterlies, this figure has to be my least favorite in this set due to a few things. His likeness isn't great, not bad by any means, but could have used a bit more work. Even compared to Toriyama's character sheets, he still looks a bit too bug-eyed and not having enough detail applied to his face or head sculpt. The overall size of the figure from a scaling perspective is also a bit awkward. I understand Beerus is slimmer than most characters, but he shouldn't look tiny next to someone like Goku. I would have also hoped that he have been a bit taller to scale with Goku. The sculpt overall just seems a little underbaked and should have had a lot more thought put into it. I think he has okay paint and shading as well, but there is a bit of shading lacking on the figure's skin, which could have accentuated his colors a bit more. I guess what I'm trying to say is, he looks a little too muted for my liking. I don't think this Beerus figure is bad, but he's just not as great as I thought he'd be. I hope Bandai revisits Beerus with a new sculpt and sculptor to work on him in the future, and maybe Whis can tag along. We end this tremendously awesome Ichiban Kuji with a tremendous figure. The legendary Super Saiyan Broly from Dragon Ball Z, Broly's Second Coming. This figure is of course an accompanying piece to Gohan and Goten within the set. Broly needs no explanation as to why he's in this Kuji, but I'll explain anyways. He's the most popular Dragon Ball movie character by a country mile for good reason. His films make the most money and he's just really awesome from a design standpoint. Broly was 2021's last one prize in Back to the Film, and it seems they wanted to continue the trend by including his Z counterpart. I do hope that Bandai decides to revisit these film Kuji and maybe even include Bio Broly. The sculptor behind this Broly figure is clearly the same one from Back to the Film's last one prize, going for a more realistic and monstrous look for Broly. I think he did a fantastic job even though Broly arguably doesn't look true to his source. His face comes off really well made with his veins and details, but doesn't really look like Broly from the movies. The sculpt is oozing with details from all of the battle damage and texturing on his gi and muscles. They also added the scars on his stomach from his fight with Goku for extra details. They even shine in the light whenever you look into them, which is freaking gross, but appreciated. The figure has a lot of traditional paint and shading applied all over, with some metallic paint added to his jewels and gold plating. Broly is one of the biggest too, as he is very wide due to his crazy pose of firing off an attack. This would be the last Broly we see in Ichiban Kuji for just over a year, which I really wasn't mad about. Broly has had so many, too many King Cluster figures included in Ichiban Kuji, and even though they were mostly Dragon Ball Super Broly figures, I was still pretty tired of seeing Broly in almost every Kuji. I will say he's incredibly unique compared to his brother in Omnibus Z, and I'm still happy to own such an awesome Broly figure. Guys, what more can I say? This Ichiban Kuji is one of the best of all time. It's certainly one of my favorites. I don't know if it's quite a top 5. I'll definitely make that list one day, but it's up there. It's awesome. Sure, it has its problems with Beerus and Janemba, but I think it more than makes up for it just by including those characters and having some of the best Ichiban Kuji characters outside of them. It's definitely an S-tier Ichiban Kuji set and very easy to collect, so if you don't own any of these yet, go ahead, hop on eBay, Zen Market, Buyee, Bashwin, whoever tickles your fancy, and pick these up for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, then I thank you very much. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more reviews like this. If there are older Ichiban Kuji sets that you want me to revisit and do in this new format where all the figures are together, please let me know down in the comment section below. I'm going to be focusing on Master Lee's, Super Master Stars Piece, Master Stars Piece, and Grandista on this channel. So again, feel free to request those for me in the comments. Thank you all to my members for supporting me. Thank you all for supporting this channel. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment your thoughts down below. But until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.